Hi there. So this year I've been very slack on updating this channel. I rebranded it Between the Whales because of a poem, and I have a video about that I'm going to upload as soon as I've edited it. But I just wanted to do an update about what's been going on. So some of you know that my main business is called AfriClub, and I do digital services, everything from digital branding, web design, web development, hosting, management, security consulting on the web, all this kind of thing, web security, of course. So this year I've been really busy. I had this lofty vision. I wanted to increase my international client base. I thought I could probably achieve that with a number of strategies. I started to pursue them January, February, March, April. There wasn't enough time to do that and do the work, especially since I got a company that were trying to get rid of a bunch of international clients that needed the services that I give. So I acquired their web management division. So that was something. So I was so busy. And I reached a point where I learned something very important. That's what this video is about. In the midst of living your daily life and dealing with I was dealing with urgencies. So somebody's website has been hacked. They're on my platform. I need to go find out why they've been hacked, solve the hack, restore the site, put in security so that it's not hacked again. There's a little bit of a learning curve because, of course, I need to figure out what the hackers are doing in 2018 because I didn't know, because they change every year. And along with that, at one point I was working 15-hour days, and that wasn't healthy, and I was looking for more hours a day to work. So I could do everything to the standard of perfection I'm used to, And I realized, well, one, I need assistance, and two, I actually need some of this work-life balance that I usually laugh at. And then I started to think about the future. How long was I going to be doing this kind of responding to urgencies and just trying to acquire more and more clients? Is this what I wanted to do? How did I want my future to look? Well, I've usually had, for many years, I've had a very clear vision of my future, and it has included certain elements that are fairly fixed. So it hasn't been a difficult thing to refer to my vision, because I've had a clear vision for many years. And I've been trying to steadily move in, very slowly in my opinion, in the direction of that vision. About a month ago, I realized one thing, maybe 2 months ago, but maybe a month ago. If I don't force 1 or 2 hours a day into my schedule, busy as it is, if I don't force 1 or 2 hours every day into activities that only build my future, activities that have nothing to do with keeping the present machine going, no management, no client work, nothing to do with today, everything to do with building tomorrow's future, building tomorrow's life. If I didn't focus time every working day to that, I simply would never get to it, because I would always be too busy trying to make a living, trying to keep the clients going. And then I say, okay, so let me get a few more assistants. So I have a bunch of assistants. Now I got to manage them. Then I say, man, their salaries are quite a lot. I need more clients. Keep these people busy so that they're making me money rather than me struggling to pay them. And so being in your own business, or also having a full-time job, whichever it is, whether it's your career or it's your business, they have a way of taking up all the time that you give them, and then draining you sufficiently that you need the rest of the time just to get your humanness back to be ready to attack and continue with your economic activities. So you spend, like I spend 7 hours a day. Well, 4 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the morning. What's that? 7 hours? I spend 7 hours a day, 7 to 8 hours a day working. And I spend maybe 5 to 7 hours sleeping. So let's say 7 and 8, 15. That leaves 5 and 4, that leaves 9 hours. So I have 9 hours that are my life. I'm glad it's more than the hours that I work. But I tell you something about those 9 hours. I spend those 9 hours being human so that I can do this work without it swallowing me, without all the technology making me crazy, without all the clients and their crises overwhelming me, without the bills and the cash flows and the tax issues and all the adulting. And I don't even have a wife and children. So I'm saying our lives are caught up with making a living and then restoring ourselves to sort of recharging ourselves so that we can make a living again. There's no time for the future in this. And when I realized that, I said, I'm going to put in hours. And I put in 2 hours every day. And during those 2 hours, I only plan and act on my plans for the future. I only work on the future. I only think these things build my tomorrow. These things have nothing to do with today. They are not going to yield me any specific financial or social or any other kind of return today. They are all about my tomorrow. And I thought that's really brilliant. And so I thought, I'd mentioned that, and I thought maybe anyone wondering why I keep taking my shades off and putting them back on. Well, I put them on because there's a lot of glare from the window that I'm facing that's giving nice light. For once, I've got nice consistent light, right? But it's glare in my eyes, as you can see by the window reflected in the shades. So, without a doubt, I think it's necessary for anyone who's trying to make their lives better to think about ways to constructively find time. Time is the secret. If you can slot an amount of time and say this amount of time every day, preferably not the hour before you sleep when you'll be dozing, preferably maybe the hour just after you wake when you'll be most alert, or maybe right after lunch if you don't fall asleep right after lunch. I don't know, like depending on your lifestyle and everything, like try and carve out an hour a day, I suggest. And what I do with that hour, the first few days, all I did was sit around and think, so how do I even want my future to look? And then what practically do I expect to do to make that happen? Like, what kind of money will I need? Okay, how will I make that money? What about ideas about making money? How do I move myself in the direction of those ideas becoming a reality while I'm doing the work I'm doing now? So transitioning. And so every day there would be something that moved me an inch further towards the future goal in that hour that I spent. Well, I locked down 2 hours because, of course, I work for myself. And I figured I could manage all my other workload if I could. And I figured I need to be radical about it. I need to be radical and just lock down this time. And I'll tell you, the results have been pretty good because I've conceived a new business. I've started most of the preliminaries. I've thought about how to improve the business that I'm currently doing and move in some new products that shift my client base slightly and also increase potential for passive income, what they call residual income. So you do something once and it pays you again and again and again. I have some residual income and I have some income that's fee structured. But I want more residual income, right? Because every time you create new residual income, it's going to keep coming in recurring. It's going to keep coming over and over for that one bit of work you did. So you're building a tower almost. And I like that, and I came up with some ideas for how to do that, and I started implementing them. 2 hours isn't that much to work a day, you'd be surprised. And I don't always, the first half an hour isn't always very productive like most work. So I'm moving along with that, but yeah, I'll tell you, I've found over the last, it's at least a month that I've been doing this, that if you can block out for in your day at least 1 hour a day and dedicate it to your future, you'd be surprised, I think, at the not just the psychological benefit of how much hope it brings when you start to see something, a clear picture for what you want, and then start to see yourself moving towards it. But it's the results are real. Once you actually start having some of these plans solidify, your life starts to actually improve in that direction that you planned for your future. I don't know, seemed to me like a hack. I thought I'd share it. I've been Salmon. This is Between the Whales, which is my channel. Have a good day.